Let's go. You know what that is, don't you? Flower of Life, aka the Daisy of Death. That's why the lotus is there. Metatron. Reversed. Everything. Think of everything in terms of frequency and vibration. Vibration, frequency. Micro, macro, macro, micro. It's very simple once you get it. Like a hologram. Take the big picture, the hologram. You cut a tiny slice off that picture, the big hologram, and you will find the whole picture. Micro, macro. So things that I've been going through in myself, situations, is also playing out in a larger scale. So when people talk of manipulation, deception, what does the devil do? He mimics, he pretends. So they'll be mimicking the good. But let's not think in terms of good and bad, but let's just be aware and acknowledge that there are things like that playing out. So, like I said, there are puppets, government, Trump, Boris Johnson, puppets on a string. And behind them, the shadows, in the shadows, hidden, are the things, people pulling the strings. But guess what? It goes deeper. They have, let's call them handlers. And so on and so on and so on. Micro, macro. So, once you become aware of these things, you understand that there must have been the magician, the puppet master, pulling the strings, manipulating situations and people. So the people that were in people's focus, it's like a, how can I explain it? It's like distraction, isn't it? They'll get you to look one way when really you should be looking that way. One thing is clear, my intuition is something I can rely on. I can rely on myself. I can rely on my intuition. I rely on the divine. And it's real because I experience it all the time. I always look beyond. See, when you're watching TV, I'll give you an example of what I do. When you're watching TV, and I know there's another person that does this, because in a way, I see now powerful being, just like me. All that energy used to get to someone, can you imagine if it was turned around? But that's the game we play here, you see. But yeah, like I was saying, oh flip, I've forgotten now. Okay. This is what happens, my mind is so full. Nothing is impossible. Right. Okay, I've completely forgotten what I wanted to explain to you. Ah! Nothing is impossible. When you've gone through an experience like I have, that's why people who comment don't understand the full story, so it's like, I don't even bother. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Everything, there's a clue in everything, even down to you walking down the street, you know, like, there's messages in everything. It's whether or not you become aware. How far, yeah, that's it, I was going to say, my awareness. When you're watching TV, right? By the way, it's the worst mind control thing ever. When you're watching TV, the audience eyes or vision, attention, always gets directed to a certain place. I started becoming aware of where my attention was going through my eyes, where I was being drawn, you know, because we're being steered. So if my eyes were being pulled there, I would make sure that I would look not there and everywhere else around it. And you notice a lot when you do that. See, that's what you should do in life. That's what I'm saying, like people who have had their awakening, be careful who you trust. I'm talking from experience. Just because they're saying this, saying that, doesn't mean they're good. I'll give you some advice. It's the people that keep themselves to themselves. You know, like, I have really done, my kindness and my integrity was something that's been used against me to keep the crap that was happening going. Because they could rely on the fact that if you say something to Melissa, she can keep it a secret. That she doesn't, I don't do loads of networking. Heart Heroes was something, the tribe I wanted to bring people together. It's because I wanted to create something, as you know. But it was, anyway, whatever. But I really do, I don't like getting caught up in dramas. You know, I'm not a gossip. You know, I find it, I just don't like it. So, being pulled into that, anyway, my point is just to be aware. Don't trust someone outright. It takes time. But that's another thing you have to look at. When people pretend to be your friend, like literally pretending, so you're totally convinced, your intuition's telling you something and things that happen, but you ignore it, I did, but literally pretending. So that's another thing, because these are real crimes and these things are happening in the community. Now I'm able to talk about it now because it literally is the end. It's so funny because I have known the truth all along, but I just didn't accept it. But this whole experience, like I said, my God, I have realised how intuitive I am. Like I am psychic, which creates, I can look into the future and see. It's like being a human lie detector. Like you can't bullshit me anymore. You know, I'm so glad for this experience, because it's funny because so much effort to get and hurt me, yet it's made me grow even more, shine even more. It's so funny because I really was, and this is another thing, like I really was in quite a lack mentality and really down on myself. I didn't see what I would have. And now I know, and then even that in itself is attractive, you know, but wow. And it's so funny because you can be accused of being egotistical, and really it is integrity. It's just, it's so funny because I see it's so much has been projected onto me, even in my family, that's not mine. I know who I am. I know who I am. And I know what I'm meant to do. And the divine is real. The divine is real, and it watches, it knows. And there is, these aren't just words. This is real. There is divine timing. All I can say is just keep your integrity. Yeah? Slow down and just trust. Okay? Because these fakes, they talk too much. They talk too much. And it's so easy just to expose them in a second. All you have to do is just ask them outright on the spot. Literally, ask them outright on the spot, what are you talking about? Watch eyes, watch people's eyes, watch people's body language. Ask them a question and then watch the reaction. Are they stalling? You see, it's very dangerous this time now because these are all things that are subtle, hidden, covert. So it's all done in the open, this abuse, which I'm not the only person. Believe I'm not. Like I said, micro, macro. It's subtle. But as people start coming out of it, as like myself, we start becoming more wise and we literally master it ourselves, it will become easier to share and talk about, and then easier for people to recognise. There is no sides. If someone's asking you to choose a side, run. Yes, it's a paradox here in this game, but we are beyond all that. There's so many fake New Age religion stuff, or the conscious community, it's all a psyop. I'm telling you, I've done the activism stuff, been in these communities. This is all a psyop. All of it is control, all of it. Everyone has a handler. Do you know how many veils there are? We know nothing. But we are remembering. Guys, I got to go. I love you all.